It's really hot today in Roseville, Virginia. What's the weather like in the UK? I bet it's raining. Typical English summer, huh? I'm joking. Let me tell you about what happened some time ago at the Gallagher mansion. We were sitting calmly, checking our synchronized watches, and all thinking the exact same thing. Something is definitely different. The Gallagher mansion is made of stone and wood. It has carved banisters and towering fireplaces a girl can curl up in front of on snowy days and read all about who killed John F. Kennedy, the real story. But somehow, that elevator had brought us into a space that didn't belong in the same century, much less the same building, as the rest of the mansion. The walls were frosted glass. The tables were stainless steel. But the absolute weirdest thing about the covert operations classroom was that our teacher wasn't in it. Joe Solomon was late. So late, I was beginning to get a little resentful that I hadn't taken the time to go steal some M&Ms from my mom's desk because, frankly, a 2-year-old Tic Tac simply doesn't satisfy the hunger of a growing girl. We sat quietly as the seconds ticked away, but I guess the silence became too much for Tina Walters because she leaned across the aisle and said, "Cammie, what do you know about him?" Well, I only knew what Bex had told me, but Tina's mother writes a gossip column in a major newspaper that shall remain nameless, since that's her cover and all, so there was no way Tina wasn't going to try to get to the bottom of this story. Soon, I was trapped under an avalanche of questions like, where's he from, and does he have a girlfriend, and is it true he killed a Turkish ambassador with a thong? I wasn't sure if she was talking about the sandals or the knickers, but in any case, I didn't have the answer. "Come on," Tina said. "I heard Madame Dabney telling Chef Louis that your mom was working on him all summer to get him to take the job. You had to hear something." So, Tina's interrogation did have one benefit. I finally understood the hushed phone calls and locked doors that had kept my mother distracted for weeks. I was just starting to process what it meant when Joe Solomon strolled into class, 5 minutes late. His hair was slightly damp, his white shirt neatly pressed, and it's either a tribute to his dreaminess or our education that it took me 2 full minutes to realize he was speaking in Japanese.
"What is the capital of Brunei?"
"Bandar Seri Begawan," we replied.
"The square root of 97,969 is," he asked in Swahili.
313, Liz answered in maths, because, as she likes to remind us, maths is the universal language.
"A Dominican dictator was assassinated in 1961, he said in Portuguese. "What was his name?"
In unison, we all said Rafael Trujillo, an act I would like to point out that was not committed by a Gallagher girl, despite rumors to the contrary. I was just starting to get into the rhythm of our little game when Mr. Solomon said, "Close your eyes," in Arabic. We did as we were told.
"What color are my shoes?"
This time, he spoke in English, and, amazingly, 13 Gallagher girls sat there quietly without an answer.
"Am I right-handed or left-handed?"
he asked, but didn't pause for a response.
"Since I walked into this room, I have left fingerprints in 5 different places. Name them," he demanded, but was met with empty silence.
"Open your eyes," he said. And when I did, I saw him sitting on the corner of his desk, 1 foot on the floor and the other hanging loosely off the side.
"Yep," he said. "You girls are pretty smart, but you're also kind of stupid."
If we hadn't known for a scientific fact that the Earth simply can't stop moving, we all would have sworn it had just happened.
"Welcome to Covert Operations. I'm Joe Solomon. I've never taught before, but I've been doing this stuff for 18 years and I'm still breathing, so that means I know what I'm talking about. This is not going to be like your other classes."
My stomach growled, and Liz, who had opted for a full breakfast and a ponytail, said, "Shh," as if I could make it stop.
"Ladies, I'm going to get you ready for what goes on," he paused and put it upward, "out there. It's not for everyone, and that's why I'm going to make this hard on you. Damn hard. Impress me, and next year those elevators might take you one floor lower. But if I have even the slightest suspicion that you are not supremely gifted in the area of fieldwork, then I'm going to save your life right now and put you on the operations and research track." He stood and placed his hands in his pockets. "Everyone starts in this business looking for adventure. But I don't care what your fantasies look like, ladies. If you can't get out from behind those desks and show me something other than book smarts, then none of you will ever see Sub-Level 2.
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Mick Morrison following his every word, almost salivating at the sound of it, because Mick had been wanting to hurt someone for years. Unsurprisingly, her beefy hand flew into the air. "Does that mean you'll be teaching us firearms, sir?" she shouted, as if a drill sergeant might make her drop and do push-ups. But Mr. Solomon only walked around the desk and said, "In this business, if you need a gun, then it's probably too late for one to do any good." Some of the air seemed to go out of Mick's well-toned body. "But on the bright side," he told her, "maybe they'll bury you with it. That's assuming you get to be buried." My skin burned red. Tears filled my eyes. Before I even knew what was happening, my throat was so tight I could barely breathe, as Joe Solomon stared at me. Then, as soon as my eyes locked with his, he glanced away. "The lucky ones come home, even if it is in a box." Although he hadn't mentioned me by name, I felt my classmates watching me. They all know what happened to my dad, that he went on a mission, that he didn't come home. I'll probably never know any more than those two simple facts, but those two facts were all that mattered. People call me the chameleon here. If you go to spy school, I guess that's a pretty good nickname. I wonder sometimes what made me that way. What keeps me still and quiet when Liz is jabbering and Bex is, well, Bexing. Am I good at going unnoticed because of my spy genetics, or because I've always been shy? Or am I just the girl people would rather not see, lest they realize how easily it could happen to them? That's all for today. Thanks for listening. To find out what happened next, read the full story in our book, I Tell You I Love You, But Then I'd Have to Kill You. Hey, tell us why you would make a great Gallagher girl in this summer's ultimate competition. Are you a chameleon like me? Ace every exam like Liz? Or make attitude an art form like Macy? Whatever your special talent, tell us about it using a homemade video, photo, hand-drawn picture, or even a written note. We'll pick the best ones to feature on the Gallagher Academy website. Every entrant will receive some exclusive Gallagher Girl goodies, and the overall winner will become the owner of a shiny new iPod Touch. To find out more about the competition, log on to gallagheracademy.co.uk. That's GALLAGHER academy.co.uk. See you there, and good luck!